Welcome back in again in our Excel complete course from absolutely beginners to advanced. And we're still with our first module, which is Excel basics and navigation. And within today, we're starting our lesson number 2. And without wasting time, let's dive into our Excel and we see what we got today. Okay. Now, as you can see here, we are in our lesson number 2. And this lesson basically we shall see what is called entering data and formatting data. Okay, we shall see very many features. As you can see, we have like 5 of them. We shall know how to do them. Now, first it's entering data. How do we enter data into our Excel? So what you should know, data is entered within the cell. And as you can see on the screen, there are many cells within our spreadsheet. So how to enter data? You just click any cell you like your data to go into, then you start typing anything you want, then you click enter. Okay, there you entering data. Or else you just click any cell you want, you double click it, it will be highlighted like that, then you start typing. Okay, like that, then you click enter. That's how we enter data into Excel. Okay, the next thing we see how we adjust faults. Now these adjusting faults, they're kind of making your work readable or nice to look better in the way you want to differentiate it. Okay, highlighting borders, highlighting headers, something like that. Okay, let's see what exactly it means. Okay, now adjusting faults. Let's say we've typed our data here. Okay, here and here. Okay, let's say we want to adjust this cell. So within that, you come to the ribbon menu up here, and under the home tab, you just click the home tab. There is a section for fault, as you can see here, and within here there are many options. You can either change the word, the any style, any design you like, and you can scroll down here. There are many options, and you can pick one as you like your word to appear. Let's say it's a header, and I would like to put in this our black, which is bold. As you can see, our text is changing. I can choose to put bold already, but they're already there. I can change it to italic, whereby I can click here. As you can see, our text is changing in color, in style. Okay, I can decide to put a line. I can decide to underline it. As you can see, it's changing. Okay, I can decide to increase it in size. As you can see, the more I go down, the more it becomes big. Okay, as you can see, if no if no adjusting it here through this column, you can either come here and press the big A or the small a to increase and decrease it. Okay, I can decide to come here and put some color into it, like a background color. Okay, let me just put this color so that my text or my data looks beautiful to be readable. I can go up here, I change the text color also. I can put it in any color I want, but for now let me leave it in black. So that's what it's called adjusting faults. And when you want to adjust font, you just come in the ribbon menu. Under the ribbon menu, you tap the home tab. There is this section whereby there is font section. You just in that is where you adjust your fonts from. Okay. Now number 3, we shall look at what we call grid lines. Now what are grid lines? Let me first ignore this. First put it back in small letter. Now number 3, grid lines. What are grid lines? Now grid lines, basically they are these cells, the lines passing over. These are called the grid line, crossing each other. This small line like squares or rectangle, whichever form you see them from, they are called grid lines. Now within this, you may be with your data like this. As you can see, I have my data range here, but maybe you don't like the grid lines to appear. So how to remove this grid line? You just come again to the ribbon menu. Okay, you come to the view tab. As you can see, you click the view tab. Under the view tab, there is a section which has shows, right? And you can identify what is called grid line. There is formula bar, there is headings within this section. So if you don't like this grid line, the crossing line which cross over, you want to eliminate them. You don't want to see them within your worksheet. You just uncheck this box like this. As you can see, they have now disappeared. And to bring them back again, just come to ribbon menu again under the view tab, and you come back here. You check again this box. As you can see, now they are back. Now that's what we call the grid lines within the Excel workbook. Now the fourth thing, column width. Now column width, what do we mean with this? Column width is simply adjusting your columns. Let's say, as you see my data here, it's in one cell, but it's coming long. Let's say I have this data, it's only in this cell, but in this cell there is nothing. But if I start typing something there, you may see something really changing. I cannot see my text. As you can see, this text, I cannot see them. Why? Because the column width is small. So I need to adjust the column width. That's what we mean by column width. Adjusting your columns to so that your data can fit that cell within it, and it's easy for anyone to see it, right? So I'll just how to adjust this column width. You come to the up where there is this headers, right? Where there is number letters, you just highlight the number of cells you like. Then you come in between, you press your cursor in between here where there is a line in between here. Then this plus sign will definitely appear. Then you just only double click it like this. As you can see, now I can see my data nicely. Okay, or else you can adjust them manually. Again, you come here up to this cell, to this column where there is your data. Then you click there, you click on the mouse and just adjust them manually. As you can see, as far as you want them to be, like that. Okay, now that's what we call the column width. It's just simply adjusting your columns so that your data can appear and you can represent your data within your sheet nicely. Okay, now let Let me go back here. Okay. So the next is cell borders. Okay. What are cell borders? Now these cell borders basically they mean to highlight your cell range or your data within that range so that it looks representable, it looks nice. Let's say I want to put some cell range within my data here. Okay, let's say I remove the grid lines. Let me remove the grid lines, and this data doesn't appear. I don't want to. I see. I don't want it to appear like this. So I'll start applying some cell borders. Okay, I'll just come here. I highlight. Let's say this is my header. Then I come to the home tab here. Again, under the fourth section, there is what we call borders. As you can see, I click this, then there are many options here. So since this is my header, I would like to put one bottom border like that. As you can see, there is a line now there. So I would say I'll come to my data here. I would like to highlight these two cells so that my data is. So I'll just come back here again. I'll put all borders as you can see, but you see it's not nicely into my borders. So I'll just come back here up, then I adjust the column width. Okay, as you can see now it looks a little bit neat and representable. Okay, that's what we mean by cell borders within the Excel. So within all doing this, entering data, adjusting fonts, grid lines, column width, cell borders, and with after doing this basically help us to improve readability so that someone can easily identify the header, can identify the the data within your workbook or worksheet. Okay, it makes important information stand out. Like you see, I highlighted this in bold and I put one underline word line so that I can differentiate it from this header from this one. It means that this is like the header and these are just part of it. Okay, and it creates a professional looking spreadsheet. As you can see here, I highlighted this header like module 1 Excel basic and navigation. I put some color like colored background. Okay, I put in bold and I adjusted their font, right? I increased the size of the font of the letters within my worksheet, and it helps users to identify and analyze data more easily. So this is the some of the importance of entering and formatting data within your Excel sheet. So that's all for today. Let's keep going slowly by slowly. Hope you learned something. Keep in touch. See you in the next lesson. Thank you.